Hello, friends. My name is Vartika Gupta, and today on Live Your Dreams, we are honored to welcome a man whose story has touched hearts across the nation. Aditya Tiwari, India's youngest single adoptive parent, is a trailblazer who redefined what courage, compassion, and modern parenthood truly look like. At a time when society had its doubts, Aditya chose love over limitations and purpose over prejudice. His journey to adopting his son Avnish, a child with special needs, is not just a personal milestone but a powerful message to the world about inclusion, acceptance, and unconditional love. From challenging stereotypes to inspiring thousands with his resilience, Adit stands as a reminder that real change begins with one brave decision. I'm truly excited to have him with us today as we explore his extraordinary journey. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Aditya Tiwari to live your dreams. Aditya, could you share a bit about your journey? What moments shaped you into the person you are today?
Thank you, Vartika, for inviting me for this talk. And about my journey, if you talk about the adoption journey, it was not an easy because considering a man as a parent is a stereotype, is a mindset, right? Nobody consider it depends on the gender as well. Only female can take care of a child, not a man can because we based on the gender we have divided the responsibilities for a female to take care of home earlier, now not nowadays of course, and men to go out and bread and butter for the family. Okay, so take care of the family from the financial point of view, for female take care of a family from the home point of view, to upbring the children, take care of them, right? So was the one, the mindset. Second, the major was the laws. Like I was not eligible to adopt any child in India. No single parent was allowed to adopt a child before the age of 30. So minimum age was defined as 30 in the Indian adoption law. So that was the legally I can't adopt any child. And of course then there is a mindset, there is a stereotype from the family society, why to adopt a child, why special need, okay, why don't you look for a life like the other people are living, focusing on career, and go in a cycle which is defined in everyone's mind. Like once the child born, then based on the gender, then the name, the religion is defined, and then schooling, then college, then job, and then start the own families instead of adopting a child. So why? So everybody was just questioning about it, and of course I cannot give answers to their questions because nobody is going to understand what I feel about it. So it starts with just a simple gesture, or I said this just for the simple thing or simple touch. When I find a child in an orphanage, that was my first visit in life, and nobody wants to adopt him because he was born with a birth defect, he was born with a genetic disorder, chromosome disorders, Down syndrome, and many other health issues. So this is one of the reason. Immediately he was left in an orphanage when he was born, and one of the reason the biological parents left in an left him in an orphanage just because they don't want any child with a special needs or with the birth defects. So, and nobody wants him. I said, okay, if nobody wants it, give it to me. So that was just an thought comes in my mind when I saw how he was lying in a bed, and when I held him in my hands, and when I was looking at him, and I thought, no, okay, if nobody wants it, give it to me. So it was just a spontaneous thought which come, and then later on I read about adoption guidelines. It comes in the which ministry, which law. So it was a long journey for 1.5 year, and everybody is just asking why, and you cannot give the answer why.
Maybe they cannot understand the soul connection which you felt. See, these type of things, I believe in spirituality and soul connections, and I believe that every child's soul chooses his or her parent as well. So it can not be like that. Maybe it was something instant instinct, or maybe a sort of connection which you felt with him at that point of time, out of empathy or out of compassion, which made you take this, I would say, a very big decision. It's not an easy decision because I understand as a parent how much uh, how much time and effort you have to put with your kid. when you're growing them up, when you're raising them up, and then you have a child with certain condition, and then you have to be extra cautious with some certain parameters. So it's not an easy thing. So you took that decision, and I think that's an incredible decision to become a milestone for our society who judge parenting also on certain socialistic norms. Like, this is the way parenting should be, this is the way a kid should be, this is the way a bond should be between, a child and parent. So, Aditya, you have worn many hats. You are a social reformer, you are an entrepreneur, and most beautifully, a parent. What inspired you to take the path less traveled?
See, these all things happened after I met Avi and started looking my life in a different way because a meeting with him, it's a destiny. Right, and God have given opportunity to to see the life in a different way because we were just focusing on our own career, on the self. But when I met with him, I think no, I can work for a cause as well, for the community, for the orphan children, for the community of special needs. Okay, what best I can do with my experience, with my knowledge, and of course exploring the new things. So I started looking in the new way in this field, like what changes, reforms are required in the laws first to make the life easy for. Suppose if you
Yes.
talk about adoption, so what easy for the people who want to adopt a child and for the children who are waiting for the parent, right? To make the children's more legal free for adoption. Like for my son, he was in a child trafficking government record. Not only he, there were many children who were not in the government records, and there was no action taken against those orphanages who are doing this illegal practice of adoption, so called child trafficking. So highlighting those organization and government have took action, ban them for
Okay.
adoption. Right. Then they have changed the Indian adoption law, the JJ Act, and now the minimum age for adopting for a single parent is 25. From 30, they have changed it, reduced it to 25, right?
True.
And now the adoption process since 2015, August 2015. Uh, so it's online process, right? So you have to, it's online, like you have to just register, you have to provide the documentation, HSR will be done, and there is no dependency on the SARS, special adoption agencies. Based on the queue, based on the requirement you put, you will get the child, right? And then second, for the like for the special needs, of course, it's a long way to go because there are many challenges out there in terms of the start with acceptance in a family, society, within the parents nowadays, and then the support which is required, the basic support of medical support and the education support. Schools are inclusive, but they are not so
Yes.
inclusive. The teachers, the resources, the infrastructure is not available everywhere. The kids are not allowed for admission, right? So, in fact, understanding the disability is a very difficult task make them because people only understand the intellectual or the physical disability, but there are 21 categories are there. So, how to identify them? How to put them in a right category, how to work with them. It's long way to go. In cities, in the major cities, of course, there is infrastructure resources are available, but then the small cities, those are not available, right? And of course, for a parent, is a daily journey to be with someone who required a support. Okay, so it's everyone have their own challenges in life, and if you have someone who need your 24/7 care, support, or shadow, so the life is different. I don't say it's difficult. Anyways, even if the people do not have child, even they don't have disability, the life is difficult for everyone in some sense, right? So it's not about disability, but it's about just the more care you have to give for. So I started thinking in that when I thought, no, I will start working in this field. I will change. I will try my best to change the mindset of the people. Okay, creating new milestone for this community because when I got away, everybody was just telling me, okay, you have to just focus on your child, do the basic regular routine. That's it. If your child does, it means you have done your job. So that should be your milestone. Your child eat independently, do regular daily tasks independently. That's it. And I said, no, this shouldn't be the milestone. These are just the basic thing he will learn, but there must be something different. Like people can follow, talk about it, and they will. It will be a motivation for the parents, for the people, for the
Exactly.
professionals, whosoever is working in this field. So thinking in a different way, it starts from a one decision. If nobody wants it, give it to me. And now we are just exploring, going in a different direction just to get something new for this community.
Very well put it across, Aditya. It can be motivating for a lot of parents, you know, if somebody is taking that sort of initiative where they are going for a child with Down syndrome. It will change, it will bring lot of perspective for society also, and I am sure it might have changed your perspective as a parent also. So how did your life and perspective on love, responsibility and purpose change after becoming a parent to a, child with special needs?
See, like as I mentioned, when I start my journey, I don't know anyone who have done this before. But at least now, whosoever want to adopt a child with a special need as a single parent, they have someone to talk about it, to discuss about it, right? So this is what the first thing which has happened. Second, about the parenting. So you are individual, and when you become a parent, there is a huge change, difference, right? Because psychologically, emotionally,
True.
physically, mentally, financially, everything, the lives change when you become a parent because you have a responsibility. You have to look for it, right? And then everything's changed the way you think when you are individual and when you have become a parent, because you have a time foundation, you have to share your everything, you have to look for someone, you want to be your best. And see, the point is, the parenting, when you become a parent, so you grow with your child, right? Because
Exactly.
it's a new journey for you. So see, like I always say one thing, like the female can give a birth to a child, but the child is the one who gave birth to a parenting, and that is not depends on gender. So both are growing together. Okay, there is no right and wrong. It's just how much you explore with your child, how much you understand each other's, how much you know each other. Then the life is smooth, because it's very difficult to just measure like how parenting is. Nobody can do that. It's only how your child is growing, right? You can only like if you're a good parent or bad parent, or it's nothing like good or bad, but how means how you are the parent. So it's all depends on your child, how your child grows, and reflect on it. Simple. That I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. So it's all depend. If my child is happy, if my child is doing good, if my child is achieving his milestone, doing what he can at this age, right? And so I focus on only one thing in my parenting. I want to raise a human. I don't want to tell him about like you, which caste, which religion you belong to. I want to teach him about the humanity. I want to teach him about the patriotism. Like you are a citizen of this country, and of course you are a human being. So you have to, above all the basic things what people talk about the caste and religion. So first thing in my mind is to make him a good human being. And of course, every parents want the child is always happy. So I want him to enjoy his life, happy, always happy. I don't create any boundaries like, okay, you have to live my dream. No, you are individual. You have your own identity. Create your own identity. You have different interest, right? So go for it. Chase your dreams. You don't have to leave my dreams. What I have done or not done in my life, if you want it, you can go for it. If not, so you are an individual. Create your own identity. Explore the world. Don't harm anyone. Try. Remember always two things: one, you're a human, so always be kind. Second, don't forget your nationality.
Uh, it's such a beautiful thought which you have, in a very simple manner which you put across. And understanding this part will, overcome so many challenges these days, parents, and that sort of parenting is facing in our society, where children are not able to understand their parent and parent is not able to understand their child, even in certain scenarios where they don't have any special need care or something like that. So what is important is that you appreciate the idea of Avnish being, individualistic with his thoughts, with his dreams, and such a beautiful thought that is that he can chase his dreams. He does not has to live my dreams. Amazing. So if I go forward, what message would you like to convey to society about inclusivity, acceptance, and redefining the concept of family?
uh, First of all, understand that in this world everyone is different. Everyone have their different interests, milestones in school. Everybody looks different. This is how the God has created this world, right? You can't find the two people same like each other, right? It's not. So first of all is the acceptance. Accept yourself first, like what you can do, not to do, your interests, your willpower, everything. Second thing is that don't put your dreams on someone else. See, the problem starts when we have some expectations. Okay, so don't have any expectations from anyone. Okay, because see, the child, it's a new life. It's not the expectation. Okay, because unfortunately, the problem starts when a couple plan for expectation, not a child. So they have to understand for it's a
Yes.
child, it's a new life. Second thing is like the birth defects. It's a natural. Nobody asks for the birth defects. Okay, it's just a destiny. So accept it. So before a child, you call it as disability, special able, differently able. Uh, First of all, accept it. It's a life. Okay, and need certain help, born with certain conditions. So that's okay. Like nobody's perfect in this world. So focus on the interests of the child, strength of the child. Okay, and start your life from the trust between a parent and a child. See, there are the problem starts when we say ki the child won't understand. Why the child won't understand if you are not, you don't have a trust, you don't have a faith, you don't have a hope. You start talking to your child. Okay, the child will definitely understand. Like from the first day, I talk to my son, I tell him what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. Okay, so I never think about it like he don't understand. Because if I started believing myself that he won't understand, so he never understand. So it's everything starts from us. We have to work on ourselves. See, don't believe in what other people will think of you. That is not your job. You don't have to be concerned about it, what other people will think of you, right? You have to just think of yourself first. Okay, if you change your attitude, if you don't have any expectations from anyone, so life will be easy. Even with the child, no matter it's a typical child or a special need child. Okay, just focus on the strength and interest of the child. Of course, the life is not easy because it's not only you. There are various factors which makes the life easy or difficult, like if you are in a big city, so of course the infrastructure resources are different. If you are in a small city, infrastructure resources are different. Of course there is a huge difference in the awareness as well. People don't know about the 21 categories defined for special needs, what is Down syndrome, what is spectrum, right, what is CP. So those 21 categories, people are not aware of it, but it is your
Yes.
job, of course, if you can tell them about it. So of course, awareness starts from ourselves. We are telling them if you are taking your child out, if anybody is asking, you can tell them, yeah, he's a child with the category. You can mention about it, of course. So there is no harm. Then only see, I never heard the one Down syndrome until I have a child with a Down syndrome. So this is what the problem is. We don't know anything until we have with ourselves or someone in the family. At least now in my family, my friend circle, wherever I go, even in my corporate world, people know that I have a child with a Down syndrome. So at least there is a word called Down syndrome in their mind.
Hmm.
Or sometimes the people know or they save their number. It's just like a DS parent. Right. So it starts from ourselves. Start working on the awareness from the small level. Don't put any expectation. Don't go in a stereotype or a mindset like the cycle that's going to a school. It's of course they will take some time. It's okay if they are taking some time and achieving the milestones. But the point is you have to be happy. The child must be happy. Then only both can grow physically, mentally, financially, psychologically. So current scenario though difficult in parenting is it starts with acceptance because there are two individual forget
Very true.
about the parenting, the couple they are not ready to accept each other. This is what the problem starts. So when the expectation come, the life come, and it's not up to their mark, so again the problem starts.
Very true, actually. I think parenting itself is a journey, long journey, and when you have certain scenarios, if partners are not able to understand each other, how they will be defining a framework for their kid. Parenting has to be that sort of road where you have to achieve, or not even achieve. You have to define different milestones or different I would say atmosphere which you have to create as a parent for your child well-being or for your child happiness. I think the most important point is a child should grow as a happy child, and with lot of human centric values should be the core for the foundation which we are building for our child. Then only this sort of inclusion can come in our society. So I'm sure Avnish might have taught you a lot of things, being and every parent has a different kind of bond with their kids, what they build over the time. What has Avnish taught you about life, love, and resilience?
He talked me about the parenting, as I said earlier. Second thing is like the patience, and he teach me to chase the dreams. Don't give up. Just keep trying. Okay, don't try to fail. Fail and try. So with him, it's like love people who they are, what they are. Okay, don't start judging them. Don't come to your own conclusion without knowing anyone. Okay, so
Very
this
true.
is what I have learned from him, because this is the how the life should be. This is not my part to judge someone, to think of someone. Okay, so just focus on your life, focus on your goals, focus on your milestones. This is what I learned from him. Okay, and see, it's all about the willpower. Okay, don't give up, as I mentioned, because if what I learned from him is a child who was born leave immediately in an orphanage after he was born. He was born with a birth defect, many health conditions. Right, he was needing immediate medical support. He didn't get it. It's not only about that he was abandoned in an orphanage. Later on, he was in a child trafficking, not in the government record, so nobody can trace even if he died. Okay, and he was in an orphanage for
Very sad that
almost
is.
2 years. Okay, and the child who was born with a disability, born with a special needs, with the birth defects, many other health issues, and nobody was there to take care of a child and survive in that odd conditions. Okay, and he never complained about it. Why this has happened to me? Like, I born with a birth defect. That was not my fault. It was in my destiny. I immediately left in an orphanage because my biological parents don't want a child with a special need. That was not my fault. I left there, then I was not taken care, provided the early intervention, provided the proper support in the orphanage. Then I was in a child trafficking. So what's my fault? But he never complained about it. He always was smiling. Of course, because of the certain limitations, okay, because of the medical condition, he can't be like a typical child. The way he speaks, the way he performs, the way he thinks, of course, there will be a difference that we have to accept it. Intellectual IQ, there will be a difference comparing to the age peers, right? But he never complained about it, why this has happened to me. I know many parents, they call and say, I don't know why this has happened to me, what wrong we have done. So it's not about right or wrong, it's just a destiny, accept it. So I learn is don't complain, right? Instead of just accept, move on. Okay, life is not easy for anyone. Even you are married, not married, you have child, not child, you are earning, not earning, you're a businessman, you're doing a job. Okay, so it's not easy for anyone. So it's better to accept it, move on. That's what I learned from him. And see, start chasing your dream. Always there is a hope, because see, when I start my journey, I never thought, considering a case of a common man, considering the case of a child
Exactly.
who is almost a year old, the Indian law, adoption law will change. Just the child get adopted by a parent, by a male parent, single parent, which was never happened in a country. Nobody ever thought about it. Why to adopt a child as a single parent, a special need? When there are many reforms has been done, many changes has been done. Government have taken initiative. They are doing it for orphan, for disability, of course, thanks to the government. And also, if you talk about Avi, if you talk about that the how the life could be, so I always appreciate him what he is doing by his achievement. Yeah. So we talk about creating the new milestones earlier, right? So, like for him, his name is in the world record when he was just 1.5 year old. At the age of 3, he was invited on the various TikToks. His story was invited, of course, on the various TikTok. Then he started looking for the child. They said he won't able to stand on his own feet ever in his life because the problem with the knees, and then the holes in the heart, many other health issues apart from the Down syndrome. And he gave, when we were watching one movie, and he said, I want to go here. Are you sure you want to go? Yeah, yes, we want to go. Can we give a try? And he was, I said, okay, fine. Do you know what it is? And he said, no. So I said, okay, this is the highest peak in the world. It's the Mount Everest. You want to go here?
Yeah.
He said, yes.
That
And then he
is
said,
that.
I know. how challenging it is, the temperature, the altitude. And he just smiling. He said, "Yes, okay, okay, we can give a try. We prepared for a year. We explored the highest altitude in India, and later we have give it a try because there was nothing to lose for us. We are just trying, which is nobody have tried at the age of 7. Only child who reach, who explore the highest peak in the world until 6,000 meter above sea level. Then he is the youngest national awardee in India, Sarvashresth Divyang Bal Puraskar he received by the President of India in 2022 at the age of 8. He received the second national award at the age of 9 from the Prime Minister of India. And the best part, when he received the first award from the President of India, the award ceremony was scheduled was in the Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. And on the day when we were entering in the premises, and this is kids are not allowed below 12 years. Yes, of course, kids are not allowed, but I am entering with a body. No, sir, it's not possible. Okay, you can give a check. You can check the list. You must have the list of awardees as well. You can check his pass. You can check his ID, and then allow
Amazing.
us. So this is what the life has changed. Then the second one is there is no reservation for the disability. So if he stood up with the every child who was below 18 for the second national award, and he was the only selected from the state Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so he got the another award at the age of 9. So he's having around 4 world records, 2 national awards, 50 plus excellence award at the age of 10. So this is how the life had transformed. Like, don't give up, chase. I learned he's working on Save Tiger. He adopted tiger at Indore Zoo. Okay, now he live wild animals, so he is taking a training to be a tiger keeper.
Nice. I mean, I would say the way you have been and the framework you have been providing as a parent. Every parent has certain, framework for their kid. You both have that sort of framework already in place where every moment and every, I would say, every standard is a special one. Already a special one. So amazing, amazing.
It starts with a trust. Like he trusts me. That is the best gift he have ever gave me. Because whatever I say, whatever we do, it's all about trust. So, as the life, as I'm said, it's not easy for everyone. We talk about achievements, everybody appreciate about it, but the preparation is not always easy. Then, just because of the health condition, almost every year he is admitted to the hospital
Oh,
because of the health issues he is having, and every time giving a general anesthesia is not safe for the child. Okay, and then going in the operation theater, just see your child in pain and getting the surgery done. You have to be with the child for 2 days or 3 days in a hospital, right? And even for the small things, you have to just go visit the other state. You have to look for the best hospital in the country, go to that state, go to that city, get the things done. So it's not easy. So every year he is going through certain kind of medical treatment, and the best part is he trusts me that whatever I am trying to do for him is the best. So though there is, I am trying, I'm not saying I am the best, so I am trying for it. So he trusts me, I trust him. This is the important thing. Like, trust factor is the hope, the belief we must have as a parent and a child. And I am learning from him, as I said, because parenting you can learn only with the child. So I
yes.
am new to this field, I am new to the parenting, and I am just exploring my parenting journey with a child.
And that's an incredible journey which you are which you are creating and which you are going through. And I have seen lot of your interviews and lot of your talk shows around disability inclusion and adoption reforms. And as you rightly said, according to that, reform in the laws have also come across where inclusive adoption has been put in place legally. And I'm sure there might be some changes which you believe are most needed in our current social systems, other than whatever reform has already happened. What would be those most needed changes you believe?
See, the reforms are in place. There will be many changes are required to be done. So the most important thing is the laws which are in place to be implemented. Right. The laws, we have a right of education. RT, from long back, every child has a right of education. We have to implement it. Child is a child despite of their condition. Right. So the education law, it has to be. The infrastructure resources are required. So education system, the medical support. Medical is free, right? But it's in the hospitals where you don't want to go. There are no professionals. There were no good facilities are available, right? Medical support, education, then the job. There is a reservation quota for people with special needs. Unfortunately, the people who don't have a special need, they are using it, getting the fake certificate. So the laws are there. Whatever the laws are available as of, until now, the created until now, implemented 100% across the country. The first thing has to be looked for, and of course, base. Second is like utilize the resources. We have very limited resources. So considering the facts, considering the state, number of people with disability, with the age criteria, we must have the resources and infrastructure in place. The opportunities to be given. See, one is education. If not the education, so sports, right? So we must have a good sports infrastructure is required across the country. Then sports, then arts, then other activities as well, which will help them uh, to showcase their talent, okay, and which will help them to grow their interest and hobbies and skills as well. So arts, music, sports, right? And based on their interest, the job opportunity, the financial support they are looking for, right? The therapies are very costly nowadays. It depends on city to city. The medical treatment is costly. Providing the
Yes.
insurance cover from immediately after the child is diagnosed. There shouldn't be a condition like it was defined in the insurance or not defined in the insurance about the disability, right? So even if the child is born with a birth defect, by default, insurance cover for every child, right? So some companies, corporate, we are getting, but not in all. And the problem is again the awareness, because see, when you go to the insurance companies, you don't go to the head of the company, you go to the one representative. Yeah. And the
Yes.
based on the information he is having, he just accept or reject the form. If he is rejecting form, doesn't mean the company don't accept it. We need to raise it to the company, to the appropriate, through appropriate channels, to the person, the concerned team. Are you aware of it? Why the insurance claim is rejected? Why not the person with special need are considered for the medical claim? So this has to happen, right? So awareness, and what we are doing from last since I got Avnish is like we traveling the entire country, going to the different parts just to talk about special needs, the right of person with disability. Okay, what is new happening in the different part of the country, right? So what best can be done? Setup of the inclusive education schools. Okay, telling the parents about the rights, the medical support they can get, right? So this we are doing it across country, okay, because this is what the required to meet with the new parents, to have a get together sessions with the parents, professional caregivers, talk about it uh, with my experience, the limited experience I have as a parent with my child, sharing uh, with them, so it will help them to understand and to think the life in a different way. This is what doing, leading the CSR part as well, corporate social responsibility. And apart from that, traveling to India, outside India, just to know what is happening in the other country, representing in conferences, workshops. So this is what we have done. We have traveled entire country in last few years, in fact, and this years in a decade, since we are together from last 10 years, and we are trying our best to make whatever best we can do for the country.
That is the way you are creating more and more awareness and acceptance for children with special needs, and this is something which is needed to make this society and to make our surroundings more and more inclusive. I would say inclusive not just for the child but for parent as well. Sometimes what happens is, I'm sure, I mean, not you or maybe few other parents face such scenarios where they are not deliberately invited to, some events or some gatherings or some parties if they are having a children with special needs. So that sort of awareness and acceptance for children with special needs and people and their parents as well, this is also very much needed. And this is happening because people have lot of misconceptions around Down syndrome. They think that Down syndrome is something which by touch it can impact their child. Like they are not having that sort of awareness what exactly a child with special needs is. It's just can be an intellectual disability in the child. It has nothing to do with, it cannot change the brain wiring of somebody else's child. So there are a lot of misconceptions around the same. What misconceptions about Down syndrome do you wish to dissolve through your work in voice? I'm sure there are a lot of misconceptions and brain wiring people have around this subject itself.
See, misconceptions, if you travel the country, if you go to the different part, you can find many. Okay, but the important thing is like people need to understand about the difference between the disease and disability,
Yes.
right? If the disability, anything by the birth defect cannot cure. So the important thing parent must know about it, the treatment. There is no treatment for any birth defect, right? So like for Down syndrome, there is no treatment. Of course, if you have any disease, there is a treatment available, but not for the disability.
Yes.
We need to understand like intellectual disability. See, don't look for a miracle. Don't wait for a miracle. Don't hope for a miracle. That is the important thing. There are many misconceptions out there. But see, again, it starts with the parent. If you believe in it, like many parents, they call me and ask, my child can do the same thing what the another child is doing. So the point is why you are comparing.
Hmm.
Right? Don't compare it. Just allow the child to grow with the peace.
Exactly.
Focus on the life, focus on what you have. Don't look for the negative part, look for the positive part. Right? Because the everything is starts from if the parents say, if anybody says my child is not allowed in a society or not allowed in gatherings. So the point is because you are looking your child in a different way. Why you are considering your child as different? Why don't you consider your child as a child? If they don't invite you because of your child, don't go. Simple. Don't you have to feel bad about it,
Hmm.
right? I faced the same earlier when I was in a process to adopt a child. Nobody was talking to me, not a family, friends. Everybody was questioning. People were laughing. There was many things going back to uh, going back of me, right? But I was focused only about the child, what I want in my life. And of course, God has helped me. It's all the destiny. The God have uh, de- defined the path for us, right? When nobody wants it, and to be like when nobody wants the child, and who was just left in an orphanage without a home, he was invited at the Prime Minister's home one day. He was at the top of the world one day. He hold the national award. He rolled the world records, many achievements, right? When he was admitted to the hospital, doctor said, I don't know if he will survive or not survive. It is critical. We are giving him general anesthesia. That is also difficult. I don't know about it. I say just leave it, do your work. People talk about it. I'm looking for a best hospital, best doctor. I always say I'm looking for a best treatment because the best doctor in the world can also make a mistake, though the chances are 0.001, but I don't want to be that 0.001. So I want the best treatment for my child. So you have to think in a different way. I don't care if I was invited, not invited. I prefer to go with my child, explore it. I don't feel hesitate about it, to talk about it. If somebody asks why different, why there is a milestone, the late milestone is achieved, why few things are not in place, why it's not so-called the normal life. There is nothing called normal life. We have just defined it. We haven't explored it in a different way. If you start exploring in a different way, the life is a life. You just explore it.
How much normal is, being awarded by president, and how much normal is being the top of the world? So there is no such criteria. It's just the mindset and the brain wiring, I would say. If that is not normal, and this is also not, how much normal it is for any child under 10 actually in our society, right? So I'm sure there is some sort of empathy play which is needed in building a more inclusive society. So what role you feel that should empathy play? See, we need to understand that okay, there is certain condition, and we have to have an acceptance as a child, as a parent, and we have to have that sort of parenting style also. But we have to have certain contribution towards our society also. Like maybe we can try to create more inclusive society. What role does empathy can play in building that sort of society?
In a simple word, we don't make it more complex. It's just the acceptance and awareness. Talk about it. Add in the curriculum for the students. Talk in schools because the education, the knowledge comes from the schools. Children are going. You have to look for the next generation who is coming, how much they know about it. Break the stereotypes, right? This is important. So it's only with the awareness, with the efforts. You don't have to utilize, or you don't have to invest more money, but you have to invest efforts. Just accept it, talk about it, tell about it, start celebrating. Everybody celebrate the Halloween's day in schools. Why not the Down syndrome day, autism day, any other day which is defined by the United Nations? So that information awareness will come by this. We are fighting about why called it disability. They are differently able, they are divyang, they are especially able. We are stuck with the word, but what next? Right, we need efforts to work the groundwork. So it start with awareness, start with getting the infrastructure resources in place, talk more openly about it.
Great. And parenting itself is emotionally and financially and all sort of ways it is very demanding. It's not like you bring a child, you adopt a child, and then you're raising a child. There might be certain habits or values which you might have. See, I believe in that me time thing. Being a parent, it does not mean that I cannot have my me time. uh, a happy parent can raise a happy child, which is a firm belief I have. I'm sure there might be some habits or some values which might have helped you stay grounded when you were also facing some sort of emotional challenges or some sort of work life balance when you were trying to maintain.
See the prior make the things prioritize in life. See, the parenting is your choice. Like, I want to become a parent, that was my choice. So I have to make sure I'm prepared for it, because the consider parenting is a small thing now, just because the way we were grown up, the way the milestone, the way we follow the cycle. Like, if you got married, it is mandatory to have a kid, it's mandatory to become a parent, right? If not, so people will questioning about it. So the point is, are you ready to become a parent? Are you ready to take a responsibility? See, people need a counseling nowadays. People need to understand, are they ready or not? Because just for the family, just for the society, don't go and start your parenting life. It's not easy, because see, of course, there is no training as there. You don't need for it until you become a parent. But are you physically, mentally, psychologically, financially ready about it? Right? So we need to understand, we need to talk openly about it, because when the someone comes in your life, are you ready to share your me time, ready to share your resources, ready to compromise with your career? It's not always about the compromise. Maybe the compromise, it's not the right word, but we need to look from a practical point of view. How many people, how many couple, how many parent cope up from these things? So it's all about priority. Like in my case, of course, if you have a good career, you have a good life. This is the fact. You cannot say my family is everything. I don't need money. I just need a family. Everything is required in the life, but when you have a money, the basic things, the basic needs only come from money. If you're in
Yes,
hospital, you need a money. If you're in trouble, you need a money. If you want to buy anything for your child, for your family, for your partner, you need money. So for everything, you need money. Even for the education, you need a good amount of money.
exactly.
Even for now in big cities, even 3 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh is the nursery fees, right? So everything, so you have to more focus about on yourself first, your mentally, physically, psychologically, right? Financially, how much you are growing every year. Okay, if you are growing, if you are happy, if you have all this factor in place, so you play a good role in all the characters in your family. So for a parenting also, it is required, because until unless you can create a support system for your child. If you have a money, you can have someone to shadow your child when going out for a play, right? So this is required in a nowadays. So you can have your own me time. when your child is going out, when your child is playing, someone is there to look after your child. You can use your child, you can use that time for yourself. So you have to prioritize. Career plays an important role, and then of course the parenting. So you have to focus and accordingly act on it.
I'm sure because my kid wants to become a neurosurgeon, and becoming a doctor in country like India, it will cost me around crores after few years. So he has that sort of dream that I want to become a neurosurgeon. So I think money is also important. If we say that no, it's just about a balance is needed in life. If we want a good framework for our kid, we have to earn, right? We have to have some financial goals. We have to set some financial goals. So Aditya, this show is called Live Your Dreams. What does living your dreams mean to you personally?
Living my dream personally means to don't copy, don't follow others. Be yourself. Whatever you think, follow it. There is no criteria like pass and fail. Okay, just give a try. It's like for parenting, that was my childhood dream to adopt a child. I gave a try. Of course, it took time. There were many hurdle challenges. I got a. Then after, of course, a good career. Then after exploring the new cities, traveling, I like love traveling, so I'm doing it. Then after meeting new people, there are few things I learned from the experience, of course, by the journey and the destiny, right? I never think of that I can go and talk with the medical professionals about the work they are doing from years, and I have with my limited knowledge and the limited experience. So this I feel good about it, right? When you talk with the people who are the master in their field, and you are from the outside, and they were asked and they want to know from your practical journey. So sharing my information, sharing the knowledge, sharing the story, I love about it now, and meeting new people and see. Uh, as I said, I'll chase the dream. So whatever I'm doing, I'm just chasing the dream in a different way. So don't follow the that what other people think about it or what other is doing. Every individual is different. So just enjoy it.
Just enjoy the journey rather than just focusing on the
Because there's
destination.
something to achieve. If you can ask what is your goal, what you want to achieve, many people say, I don't know what I'm doing. There is something you want to achieve, and always in the pipeline what you want to achieve, because if one you have achieved, then what's next? What next, right? So the show must go on.
I think a lot of people have that acceptance, but they are afraid, to walk their own path. You were also having a certain path which you followed in your life, a unique path. So first of all, acceptance is there, and then there are few people who are still in acceptance mode, but they are very afraid to move their unique path. What message you want to give to those people, like who
Uh,
have that
so
acceptance?
So from my journey, what I learned is when I got a child, the adoption done, everything. So there were many people they called me, and they say, this is my childhood dream. I was to do that. Okay, I have tried, but it's not happened because of some reasons. Okay, so when we look for the excuses, we can't make it happen. So there was only difference with the people who want it, who have tried, and with me is only thing that I crossed the line. They didn't. So when you are ready to cross the line, when you want to do something, when you need, means if you are chasing your dream, so shouldn't be any excuse. At least go for it, try for it. You just try and fail. See, we read many stories, successful people, how many times they have failed, but they are keep trying in the different way just to achieve it, right? So just keep trying. Don't think about what other people will think of it. This is the major problem in our country. Don't do it for sake of someone else. Do it for yourself. So things will happen. This destiny will support you. The God will support you. The whole environment will support you. But if you start giving a try,
Just give it a try at least without thinking about the failure. Amazing, nice message. If your life was in a message to the world, what it would be, Aditya?
I am not yet reached to the conclusion. Maybe after 5, 10 years, if I achieve something in my life.
You already have lot of feathers in your cap, and still you are in that that more. Amazing, great. Thank you, Aditya, for your time and coming to our channel. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of people, lot of parents who will understand that they don't need to be a perfect parent. They just need love and compassion towards their child, because parenting is a journey. It's not a destination, and we should not copy. We should not try to compare and copy our kid. Like if somebody else's child is doing something, then our kid also have to follow the same guidelines or same rules for their life. And I would say that it was a
The
very
last,
nice conversation with, yeah.
the last thing before we close, I said the example, the thing you were asking me about how to chase dream, what things to follow. So simple is, if you chase dream, if you put all your efforts, so of course something will come up as a surprise in your life. The one, of course, we have received many recommendation from the God grace, and we are very thankful for it. Okay, the one thing which has happened to my life when I started my parenting journey, everybody was questioning about, you can't do it because you're a male. You cannot take care of a child, and especially it's not possible. You can't feed the child. You can't do anything. This is not your job. Naturally, um, so the male is not to be meant for a be a parent. People used to tell me, questioning about me. In 2020, after I became a parent, and then during my journey, whatever we have done until now so far, in 2020, I got one award. That is the World Best Mother Award on International Women's Day.
Amazing.
It's in Bangalore. Yeah. So this is what the surprise you will get in life when you just chase your dream and just follow your own path, and the life come with the surprises.
I'm sure that people will learn to, wait for surprise. I mean, to expect surprises, because the brain wiring we have is like, surprises. Mostly they take it as in not in a very good manner. So if you trust yourself and your God, whatever plan God has designed for you for your life, I'm sure everybody has a life purpose. It's just that that acceptance should come, and you should realize what is your life purpose. And in that journey itself, God will be, making sure that you come across so many surprises. And such a beautiful award you got, world's best mother. I'm very, very congratulations for our from our side as well. And I'm sure that whosoever will be watching this conversation will understand what exactly is inclusive adoption. And it's not something which is very different from normal parenting. It is just about having that sort of compassion and having that sort of mindset, or maybe I would say just having that sort of removing that sort of brain wiring which we have when we are born, when we are living in this society. So then we can understand that every child deserves, every child deserves a chance, not a category. This is the way we can create more and more inclusive society. And that ways it will be a beautiful world for every one of us. So thank you, Aditya. Thanks for coming here and joining us and enlightening us with your journey and your valuable inputs as a parent. And I'm sure that our viewers will be able to understand about the social and legal reforms which your step as an inclusive adoption came in our society, and what are its long-term impacts as uh, this for this area. So, sayonara until we meet and talk again. Thank you, everyone.